All right, everybody. It's Representative Heather Scott and Representative Zito again tonight.
We're dressed up a little nicer this time.
We are. We're just going to chit-chat here for a minute. I know it's really, really late, so we probably won't get a whole lot of people to come on and
we're going to make it short.
We'll make it short. We're going to make it shareable. We've been trying to get so we could do this all day, but the day's just been hectic. We're both on State Affairs and Judiciary and Rules Committee, and so we've been like back and forth from committee to the floor to committee all day long. Just
non-stop. We had like 30 minutes to eat lunch, and that was it. And it was non-stop.
Non-stop.
So we're wiped out. It's about 9:30. We started at about 9:30. So we're done.
But we did want to give you an update. We wanted to let you know what happened today.
Never too tired for the people.
Never. Okay. Never. So it was really a high energy day.
Oh. Lots of people. It was so busy at the Capitol. It was good to see people scurrying around.
Oh yeah,
excited.
It's always good. There, I don't know. Do you think there were 200-300 people, just citizens there to participate in the process? So that was really good. We opened with a session. I think there are a few things people don't understand about how the process works. So we're going to take just a little bit of time and just briefly go into that process, and then later I think I'll do it maybe a whiteboard. Heather probably will too, to explain the process a little bit more. But we had to start a session. This is its own unique session. Extraordinary session. So we had to open up with a session, so we were on the floor. And then after the session, we went to our committees. We went to State Affairs first.
State Affairs. So what the process looks like is there are RSs, they're called RSs, but they're really just drafts of bills. And what happens is the RSs are introduced to the committee, and the committee can decide, yes, we want to turn that into a bill, or no, we don't. And so in State Affairs, we had 3 RSs. One was about elections. I'm trying to think, that one was to guarantee citizens the opportunity to always go vote in person.
No matter what.
Representative Giddings carried that. And then we had another one on elections. That was Representative Monk's. I'm not sure what that was. And then the third one was the best one, I think, for the day, is a resolution to end the emergency.
A concurrent resolution, it states in the Constitution.
Yes. So we can, by concurrent resolution, that means we pass something through the House, and that same resolution passes through the Senate, and the emergency's ended at that point. So those all 3 RSs, they've got voted in, and they turned them into bills. And then we headed straight to State Affairs. To Judiciary and Rules.
I want to point out, though, too, we run around and we talk about RSs. That stands for a routing slip. And an RS is personal private property of the person that had it created. So if I have RS 132, that's my own personal private property, right. And I present it to the committee, and then if the committee decides to advance it to a bill, then it belongs to the committee.
Right.
So I like to clarify.
So do you want to talk to him about Judiciary and Rules?
Yeah, and in Judiciary and Rules, what we heard were liability bills, making it so that there wasn't any civil liability for transmission of the coronavirus. And we had 4 different bills that we listened to today, and we took a lot of testimony on, and we didn't vote on any of those today. So I'm sure tomorrow we'll be on the floor at 8:30 in the morning. I don't know if we'll vote on the bills that were passed out of State Affairs, but they'll be read across the desk again, because according to the Constitution, they have to be read 3 times on the floor of the House. And so they'll be read again, and then we will go back into our Judiciary and Rules Committee, and we will probably hear more testimony. I don't know how much more. We didn't get through everybody that had signed up, so we'll hear more testimony, and then we'll vote on which one of these bills we think should be advanced to the floor for a vote. And then after we get done with all of this, on all of these bills, whatever we pass off the floor, we'll go to the Senate and start all over, and there are bills in the Senate now that have been passed that will come to the House for that same process.
And so I think what was really great about today is so many people were so passionate about speaking to these bills. I think the people feel that their voice has not been heard, and they're not being heard by local governments, they're not being heard by the governor. And so for once, the legislators, which is our job to represent the people, were actually taking time to listen to what was being said and what their concerns were. Unfortunately, we were limited to only three topics or two topics, so that was unfortunate. But you know, the stories we have heard of people suffering and what they've gone through with this emergency, extreme emergency, with the whole COVID thing, it's just been devastating to hear the stories.
It is. It's heart-wrenching. I know that probably the second or third day after the declaration had been made, I started to get phone calls from people who needed medical procedures that couldn't be done. And then as it went on and people couldn't be with families when they were having babies, I think one of the things that has touched me the most was a conversation I had with someone who worked in a nursing home or retirement home or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to try not to cry.
Don't cry.
Don't cry. Don't cry, Christy. She said those people are slowly dying from loneliness, that they can't be with their families, no hugs, no touch, no, just the very minimal human contact. Not that the people who work there don't want to do more, they do, but because of all this regulation and COVID transmission and all of this stuff, they can't. And she expressed to me and told me about how these people are just slowly dying from loneliness. And I think as a society, if we're not careful, we are going to slowly lose our humanity. And I'm not saying that COVID isn't a real thing. But what I'm saying is and we heard this in testimony today.
Oh, there was a lady whose father was a veteran who fought for the country.
Yeah.
And
15 years old, pulled herself out of a foxhole in Korea, she said.
And she couldn't be with her dying father. It's just heart-wrenching, the stories. And the stories aren't people that have died of COVID. It's people that have died from the effects of COVID, from not being able to get treatment, from being kept away from loved ones, from depression, from suicide, and businesses closing. I can't tell you the people I've talked to that are losing their businesses or in the process of losing their businesses. So the testimony's good. It's all going to be archived, so you can go online and watch that, which I would encourage you to do. We're going to have more tomorrow, so you can watch us tomorrow morning. And
yeah, it's all on public TV, or you can go to the legislative website and look it up and watch it there. But I just want to express my gratitude to everybody that was there today, everybody that listens, the messages, the prayers. I know that it was a prayerful thing for so many people. So many people.
Started with prayer.
The strength. We did. We went into the lieutenant governor's office and we started with prayer.
First
and she
thing.
shared a scripture with us first thing, and it was just awesome. And I'm grateful to all of you for that. I'm grateful for the support and the love and the hugs and just all of it. And so listen tomorrow if you can, and if you can't, when you have time, listen and understand the process and listen to what was said and be engaged and involved. We need to end this. We need to end it now. It's past now,
Right.
past time. Too many lives are being destroyed. What is that saying? The cause is worse, or the cure is worse than the cause. But I personally choose faith over fear, and that's how I'm going to live my life.
And I want to add, this has got a lot of people engaged to show up, but the problem is we haven't been engaged, and that's why we're in the mess we are in. We have got to stay engaged after this. We have got to replace representatives that don't understand that they work for the people. There's many that are legislators that think they work for the governor, and so there's lots of work that can be done.
Once they worked for the state.
So let's cut it down. Let's be done. It's a late night, so we're gonna go to bed and get our sleep, and hopefully we'll see you guys tomorrow and have great news about our past ending the emergency, passing the resolution. That'd be great.
It would be great. But again, please, even when this is over, please be engaged. Please know who you're voting for, know what they stand for, know what they're going to do for you. Please, let's not ever let ourselves get to this point again. So thank you.
Thank you.
Love you all.
Good night.
Good night.